Episode 254, Fake versus Real Entrepreneurs, Part 2.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. Wow, made it with one breath again. How the fuck did that happen? Yesterday we went briefly through, fake entrepreneurs. And today we're going to go through what makes a real entrepreneur. And justifiably, you're saying, what an arrogant motherfucker to say or to determine what is a fake and what is a real entrepreneur. And you're going to see now in today's episode why there are distinctions. Yesterday, we talked about this, two lady friends who had a dog boutique and who, just threw their husband's money into this money grave just to prove a point that they were, self-reliant and making a difference in the world. And, at the end of the day, they were getting hammered on Prosecco and just having a jolly good time, lulling to their clients in this, pseudo jet set environment that they were creating. Where was I getting with this? Well, there were questions. And questions came in. It was like, what's the difference between a fake and a real entrepreneur? And I think, with today's episode, we're actually going to solve that riddle right after we go through our daily housekeeping chores. Item number one of which is sharing is caring. Please share this content. I'm not saying this because I'm making money off of it, but I'm saying this because I'm spending time to change people's lives. And obviously that happens when you share the content and these episodes. And there is proof of concept a few weeks ago. Go back to that episode where I in detail went over in a very positively surprising email I got from some random listener that was made aware of this podcast through just a mere social media share that he came across by mere coincidence. Item number 2, views my own, yada, yada, blah, don't reflect any blah, blah, blah. Item number 3, remodeling mode still ongoing. It is still, the summer and the rest of it. And that's why, it's going to be shorter episodes, more concise content, blah. So, today we're going to talk about real entrepreneurs and the shit they wade through to change the world, essentially. And, not get away from their husband or wife and, cheating themselves and whatever. So this is about two friends of mine from Berlin. And they started a company that was essentially an interesting concept, very, very promising. But in their funding rounds, they didn't have international access. So they were kind of limited in the way they could market and sell themselves, which was supposed to be because the funding bank wanted it that way to limit themselves to the German-speaking market, which is, in an ideal scenario, 85 million people versus 7 billion on the globe who speak English. Well, some better, some worse, but it is the most spoken language in the world. I think at least, everybody or a lot of people understand it. There we go. That's the point. I don't have exact numbers, and then I start to fish. And I sometimes catch big fish. But anyhow, there's basically 6 main criteria that make and distinguish a real entrepreneur from a fake one. And these guys fulfilled all of them and more, right? So number 1 is self-awareness. And, you're going to be thinking like, well, of course, I'm self-aware. But are you? Are you self-aware of what you're going to get yourself into? Are you aware of what that entails? Are you aware of the risks? Are you aware of the, not only the opportunity, but the risks associated with it? Because more likely than not, you're going to be dodging bullets the first 10 years, right? Because you're going to make mistakes, and then, you're going to have to dig yourselves out of these mistakes, just to keep on going, and, to then be able to harvest the fruit of your endeavor. It's got to take a little bit of time. Rather than all of these flashy bling blangs that are out there with their rented Lambos, trying to make a good impression, and trying to convince you that Forex trading is going to solve all of your problems. Sorry, it's not. Just to get that into your head. They also love the journey. It's when you see this entrepreneur mindset, what you are confronted with a lot of times are these, living in Airbnbs, in, I don't know, Thailand or wherever, having like these shared office spaces to brainstorm ideas. It's this freedom, the journey of freedom. It is this perceived freedom that you're going to be free from, your boss and the man and whatever not. But it is to a degree that, from my own experience. But at the end of the day, the tax man is still going to be there and beat the shit out of you if you can't pay up. So that's an interesting misconception that's going around people's heads a lot of times if they go into entrepreneurship. However, there is a very, very, very great, pristine community of people who have set out on a journey to change the world. And it's totally annihilatingly, if that is even a word, enriching to exchange thoughts with these folks, right? Because they're all, batshit crazy, for throwing away everything they have to stomp something out of the ground which hasn't been there. And they're struggling on this journey regularly to find funding, to promote their ideas and to get it in front of the right people, and knocking on doors and scratching on doors and whatnot. So this journey is, I don't know what it is. It's like this procession, but then again, it's totally, totally fun and invigorating, right? These people are usually risk tolerant, right? So that means that, if they're going to put everything on one card, they're going to go for it. And the same was true for the friends I spoke about. They put everything on this one card. Now, unfortunately, for reasons I don't, really want to go into, their thing failed. But it was a great idea, really a great, great, great idea that they had. And it was just about they didn't get in front of the right people and in front of the wrong ones. And, that's what I talked about, dodging the bullets, because that's what you are doing every single fucking day. Real entrepreneurs are always going to be passionate about their thing. And here's why. If you are not 110% convinced that your idea is going to change the world, how the fuck are you going to convince someone, to 100%, because, you need money to get the thing off the ground. If you, don't have your own, or like the ladies we talked about yesterday, have their loaded husbands to subsidize their business here and, every single month. It's about the passion that you need and the conviction that you need to actually get it in front of people, to help you find mentors, to help you find customers. And that is what this passion is going to be about. And that's why being passionate about the product or service you're offering is essential and your number one priority. Next, they are driven by ambition. And I think, it kind of ties in a bit with the passion thing. No need to really say a lot about it, because we're almost breaking the 10-minute sound barrier again. And most importantly, you or they, these real entrepreneurs should be strategic thinkers. And that's important because, like I said, you're going to be dodging bullets. But so you need to have the long-term goal in sight always. And, if you get hit in the leg or the shoulder or whatever, you don't get shot down totally. You still need to be able to crawl, towards that final goal. You can't end up in the hospital. Obviously, you're not going to be walking anymore and you're going to be in pain because that's what this journey is about, right? Otherwise, you'd be at your 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, it's this exciting journey with, a lot of passion involved, and it's just an amazing, amazing experience to go through. I've been through it myself 2 times on my own, quite a few other times with other people on joint endeavors. And I can only say it's totally, totally, totally exciting, totally worth it. So if you want to go through the journey that, of entrepreneurship, make sure, to listen to this podcast again when you have decided for yourself that you want to do that. And then, look me up. And if you need advice, as always, email theverybestpodcastintheworld@gmail.com. And otherwise, I wish you a good and successful rest of your Thursday. And tomorrow we're going to be in touch and speaking about the muscle memory and how that makes your life easier. And we're finally really, really, really going to do that. Pinky swear. So in that sense, have a nice Thursday, folks. We'll be in touch tomorrow. Bye. Peace out.